Hello children, you're all welcome back to the EVS class. Let us continue with our lesson, Experiments with Water. Can you recognize what is given in this picture, children? There is a white substance. We have already discussed about this when I taught you about the Dead Sea, and also in the last class where you were experimenting with substances which are soluble in water and which are not. You all have used this to check whether it is soluble or not. I hope you all must have guessed by now. Yes, it is nothing but the salt which is used in our daily life. Can you imagine our food without this salt? Oh no, it would be very tasteless, isn't it? Yes, salt plays a very important role in our food. It makes our food tasty. Not only that, it is also required by our body. There are many salts which are required for the proper functioning of our body. But do you know from where we get this salt? What do you think is this? I hope you all have guessed. It is a picture of a sea. Now, why am I showing this to you? Is there any connection between salt and sea? I hope all of you are reminded of you tasting the sea water when you have been to the beaches like Chinchini or Kelva or any other beach for that matter, when the sea water entered in your mouth and you felt it is very salty. Yes, so seawater has got a lot of salt mixed in it, and this is the source of salt. Can you guess what this is? I don't know if you all have seen when you were traveling from Boisar to Mumbai, we come across many bridges and water bodies. If you have happened to observe during summer, especially, you must have seen pictures like this. You would also have seen heaps of white material. It is nothing but the salt. These are the salt pans. Can you see those boxes made in the soil in which water is collected? It is made just beside the sea. These shallow pits are called salt pans. In these salt pans, seawater gets collected, and because of the sun's heat, the seawater gradually gets evaporated. That is, it becomes vapor and disappears. When there is no water, salt is left. What white material you see here in the picture is the deposition of salt. Now, can you see these heaps of white crystal accumulated? These crystals or heaps are nothing but the salt which is collected from the evaporated seawater. This is how salt is made. Here there is a clearer picture of the white heap of salt just beside the sea. This is the process of making salt. This is how salt is made, by evaporating seawater. Not only that, children, this salt has also got a great, rather a remarkable role to play in our Indian history. Are you wondering about what I am saying? Yes, what I am saying is a fact. This salt was responsible for a great revolution during our freedom moment. In those days, when India was ruled by British, our country and the people of our country had to face a lot of problem. During those times, there was a law imposed by the British called the Salt Law. According to this law, the Britishers did not allow the Indians to manufacture or make salt, and they also levied heavy taxes on salt. That means to say that people of India had to buy salt, which was actually free, and that too at a very high price. This was not at all appreciated by the Indian people. And our father of the nation, I hope you all remember who it is. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi, as you can see in the picture, decided to stand against the British and fight for the right of the common people. According to Bapu, as Gandhiji is called, salt is a basic necessity and it is freely available by nature, like air and water. People should be allowed to make salt for themselves. And as Indians, we have a right over the seas and land of our country. No foreigner can stop us from making salt. So he decided to start a yatra or a march. Can you see in this picture that Gandhiji with other followers is marching? This march started from a place in Ahmedabad called the Sabarmati Ashram. The picture here shows the starting point and the green line that you see, which is ending at Dandi. This is the path that Gandhiji and his followers took. Remember, they walked on foot all this distance to reach Dandi, which is a seashore where Gandhiji made salt in order to protest the British. This distance is approximately 234 miles. So it's a very long distance that these people walked. Many freedom fighters and countrymen supported Gandhiji in this movement because he walked, that is, he marched to a place called Dandi. This movement is called Dandi March or the Salt March. This happened in the year 1930. Here can you see, children, on the right is Sarojini Naidu, another famous freedom fighter who joined Mahatma Gandhi in the Dandi March. Along with her, there were many other revolutionaries and freedom fighters who joined Gandhi and supported him for this Dandi March. In this picture, you can see many people along with Gandhiji. This picture shows some of the famous freedom fighters like Rajagopalachari. Or about all these freedom fighters you will be learning in detail in your higher classes. This is just for your knowledge so that you will remember. Finally, after Gandhiji reached Dandi, he picked up the salt grains that were made by the Indians opposing the salt law. Can you see that in the picture? Gandhiji bending over and collecting the salt grains. In this way, through unity, Indians proved to stand against the British, and this way, this was the first step to our freedom struggle. Marking this important event in the history, you can see that stamps also were made. The first stamp clearly shows the picture of Dandi March, Gandhiji leading the people, and the other stamps also you can see the picture of our father, the father of our nation. Children, this is the extract from your textbook which talks about the Dandi March, the incident which took place in 1930. As I have just explained to you in detail, It talks about how Gandhiji started the Dandi March from Ahmedabad to Dandi in Gujarat. And it also talks about how salt is made. I hope you all have understood the concept of Dandi March and also how salt is made. With this, we come to the end of the chapter, children. In the next classes, we'll give you the question and answers. Thank you.